Well, a very good evening and welcome to the Supreme Championship 17, the official weigh-in. Chris Hoekstra, D Minhat, great to be with you, man.
This setting is beautiful. Got Lambos, rare BMWs, more Lambos, Chris. This is buzzing. The crowd has come out as well. It's after work hours, so everyone's come down to see their favorite fighter weighing on the scales there.
Now, what do you think about this? Listen, we always talk about Supreme. These guys are bringing fighters into fight. Period. I talked to a lot of these fighters. They've all said they're going to knock the other person out.
Everyone comes to showcase themselves on this show, Chris. There's been a lot of knockouts, a lot of finishes in previous shows. Nobody wants to take this decision.
Now, let's talk about the venue. You know, we're here at this crazy car dealership today. Tomorrow, the O2 in Bournemouth. It's the perfect vantage point, but it's just about sold out. So people can either maybe try to get a ticket or they can check out the pay-per-view. It's an amazing setting, and you and I have called shows all around the world. I really love seeing that kind of beautiful overwatch you get. It's kind of like a little coliseum.
Yeah, the O2 Academy in Bournemouth, beautiful. It's circular. You're looking down on the gladiators. I cannot wait.
Now, what do you make of the main event? Andy Manzolo was supposed to fight Justin Moore. Both guys have fought on Cage Warriors, Bellator. They've been around the block. It's now a late-minute opponent. Robbie Kennedy's coming in. He's a full-contact world champion kickboxing. He's only 2-2 in MMA. Manzolo's got like nearly 40 fights. Does he stand a chance?
Yeah, Andy's tough as they come, but his opponent is crazy. He'll go there and try to finish early, but he's tactical, and he uses his range beautifully.
Now, look, I'm going to say it right now. Supreme Championships, we got the pay-per-view online. We're going to do the prelims free on YouTube. We're going to face these fighters off up on the stage. And after this face-off, we're going to do a little bit of live interviews. We've got another commentary headset. Yeah! Dean, listen, man. It's roasting hot in here tonight. Anything else to the fans about why they got to watch this one tomorrow?
Strap yourself in and get ready for a ride, Chris.
All right. Chris Hoekstra, D Minhat. We're going to walk off and face these fighters up on stage, and we'll be back with you in about 20 or 30 minutes with some interviews. Dean, let's do this, man. Chris Hooksher. This is my broadcast partner, D Midhat. How you guys doing out there tonight? Oh, let's make some noise. We got people watching on YouTube. Listen, we're going to face the fighters off, and I want you guys to show support. We're going to kick it off. It's a K1 bout. It's the first fight of the night. Let's welcome to the stage, Kelia Scott. Yeah. We'd like to welcome our official sponsor, BLM Solutions. We got Victor here. Kelia Scott on the scales.
Kelia Scott weighs in at 157.4 pounds.
157.4 for Kelia Scott. She'll be facing her opponent who's not here. She'll be facing Hannah Kangaby. We continue. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the featherweight division. It's another K1 contest. Introducing first. Actually, it's going to be 155 in the lightweight division. Introducing Piotr Petak.
Piotr weighs in at 155 pounds.
155. All right, Piotr, we want you up here, man. Piotr will fight tomorrow at lightweight in K1. Morgan King.
Morgan King weighs in at 150.1 pounds.
All right, let's get these guys together. Let's get it. Piotr versus Morgan. Tomorrow, the second fight of the night in the lightweight division, kickboxing K1 rules. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue. It's another bout, this time in the catch weight, 165 pounds. It's an international. Introducing first, Josh Saunders.
Josh Saunders weighs in at 154 pounds.
154. Let's hear it for Josh Saunders. And Josh is facing from the Fight Lab in Norway. Would you please welcome Kev Dolvich. Kev Dolvich here from Norway.
9 million EasyJet.
Kev Dolvich weighs in at 160 pounds.
All right, guys, let's get to the center. One more time, let's hear it for Kev Dolvich and Josh Saunders. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue this time at lightweight, 155. It's kickboxing, another international. Would you please welcome to the stage, Adam Harper.
Weighs in at 153 pounds.
That's 153. And he will face, representing Poland, Sebastian Rogowski. Sebastian Rogowski on the scales. Dean, what do we got?
Sebastian Rogowski, 154.6 pounds.
154.6. Josh Harper, Sebastian Rogowski. All right. contest. Would you please welcome at super lightweights, Sylvek Mazurek. Sylvek Mazurek. Give the shoes off to get up to the scales. Team, what do we got?
Sylvek Mazurek, 157 pounds.
157. Sylvek will fight Ezra Sharp. Ezra wasn't able to make it, but hey, we got one half of the party. All right, another international. Would you please welcome 6 foot 2 inches tall, Jake Woolley. Jacob Woolley on the scales. What are the numbers, team?
Jake Woolley, 142 pounds.
And would you welcome his opponents, representing Poland, Jakub Kuzma. Jakub Kuzma weighing in at...
Jakub Kuzma weighing in at 149 pounds.
149 for Jakub. Fighters to the center. Tomorrow night, continuing at Supreme Championship 17. Jake Woolley and Jakub Kuzma. All right, ladies and gentlemen, rocking on in the flyweight division, mixed martial arts action, we'll see Josh Harper making his way to the scales.
Josh Harper, 125.8 pounds.
125.8 for Josh Harper. Flyweight MMA action. His opponents, representing the bar, Tom Cowell. Tom Cowell on the scales.
Tom Cowell, 125.2 pounds.
125.2. Fighters to the center. Tomorrow night, flyweights at 125 pounds. MMA, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Harper versus Tom Cowell. Yeah, buddy. All right, we'll continue. The action's at 145. It's MMA. Would you please welcome James Saunders? James Saunders weighing in at...
James Saunders, 145.4 pounds.
James Saunders. Truman Baker unable to make it. He'll be fighting out of Rice Champs Martial Arts, but tomorrow in the featherweight division. One more time for James Saunders. All right. Up to 155, lightweight MMA. Would you please make some noise for Tyler James? Tyler on the scales. What are the numbers?
Tyler James, 155 pounds.
Tyler James win at 155. Bang on the limit. And he will be facing tomorrow night George Treble from the Guerrilla Fight Team. George unable to make it, but Tyler, what are your thoughts? What do you have to say to George? You might be watching on YouTube.
He lives down the fucking road. Where the fuck is he?
Hey! Unbelievable. Listen, I gotta ask you a question. What are you gonna do to him tomorrow night?
Oh man, you'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see, but it's not gonna be nice.
Under or over 1 round?
It's under.
There you go. 1 round finish. Tyler James.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action will continue also in the lightweight division at 155 pounds. The first of your two contestants. Let's hear it for Kane Stray. In an international matchup, Kane Stray hitting the scales.
Kane Stray, 153.6 pounds.
That's 153.6. And it takes two to tango, all the way from Norway. Would you please welcome, representing Fight Lab, Jürgen Schruen. Ooh. Jürgen Schruen weighing in.
Jürgen Schruen, 155.8 pounds.
All right, a lot of talk in this one. Jürgen and Kane tomorrow at 155 pounds. Jürgen Schruen, Kane Stray. All right, let's give it to the crowd. One more time, let's hear it for Jürgen Schruen and Kane Stray. Ladies and gentlemen, up the card, but down in weight, 135 pounds. Would you please welcome, it's the agents, Jordan English. Oh, yeah. In the bantamweight division. This is the only way to weigh in, let me tell you. On the scales, team, what do we got, man?
Georgia, Agent English, 134.8 pounds.
134.8, under the limits. And Jordan is fighting tomorrow night, who could not make it. Zadula Halimov, representing Predators. Jordan, quick chat, man. Listen, we've had a lot of talk about this one. Again, your opponent hasn't shown up.
I mean, the first one pulled out, so that says something, doesn't it? Especially if Andy Robert the week after. I mean, respect to the next one to take it. He's not here, doesn't matter, because he's going to be there tomorrow night, and that's all that matters. Show my hard work!
Jordan English, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 190 pounds, catchweight affair, mixed martial arts. Would you please welcome, representing Guerrilla Fight Team, Mike Waters. Mike Waters on the scales.
Mike Waters, official weight, 189.6 pounds.
Mike Waters, 189.6. And his opponents, Emmanuel Ojo.
Emmanuel Ojo, weighing in at 185.4 pounds.
Representing the bar, Emmanuel Ojo will face Mike Waters. Fighters to the center for the face-off. Ladies and gents, one more time, Mike Waters and Emmanuel Ojo. All right, we are moving into main card territory, Pro MMA. It's a heavyweight contest, all the way from Wales, Ben Schneider. Big Ben Schneider up and on to the scales, Dean.
Ben Schneider weighs in at 239 pounds.
And he will face Tomasz Uczynski, who could not make it here tonight. Oh, he is. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Schneider's opponents, Tomasz Uczynski.
Tomasz Jasinski weighs in at 241 pounds.
241 for Tomasz. It's a K1 fight, I stand corrected. Tomorrow night, heavyweights, Ben Schneider, Tomasz Uczynski. This time continuing in MMA at 185 pounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of Wales, Craig Allen.
Craig Allen weighing in at 185.5 pounds.
Craig Allen, 185.5. He will fight, representing Poland, Bartek Parsi.
Bartek Parsi weighing in at 186 pounds.
186, Pro MMA, tomorrow night, Supreme Championship 17. Craig Allen, 185.5, Bartek Parsi, 186. Ladies and gentlemen, the first title fight of tomorrow night. Let's make some noise. It's an international again. Introducing first, the champion, Ula Hetleflat. With an excellent t-shirt game.
Ula Hetleflat weighing in at 143.2 pounds.
The challenger unable to make it, Ross Wing will challenge. It's the featherweight title, Ula, 143.2. Under the weight limit, Ula. You got the belt, man. Quick little chat. Tomorrow night, you're coming back. We saw some action last time. What are we gonna see tomorrow?
Slam KO.
Slam KO, you're gonna pick him up and just drop him on his head?
Probably.
Ula, you're a great fighter, man. We had a lot of fun last time. Good luck to you tomorrow night, all right, bro? Listen, you got some friends watching on the way to back home right now. Anything you want to say to them?
Look forward to it.
He's a man of few words, but he's a hell of a fighter. Ula Hetleflat, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the second title fights of tomorrow night. Introducing first, representing Lithuania, fighting out of the Predators, Aidas Sirkauskas.
Aidas Sirkauskas weighing in at 204.8 pounds.
204.8. It's at light heavy, under the limits. And his opponent, representing Wales, would you please welcome David Round. David, one more round, weighing in, Dean.
David Brown weighing in at 189 pounds.
189 for David, one more round. This your second title fight tomorrow night. Aidas Sirkauskas. David, one more round. Round promises to knock him out. Aidas Sirkauskas says, let's see. All right, gents, I want a quick word. Aidas, what did he just say to you there, man?
Just let's see who backs up first, yeah?
David, the challenge has been issued. You always like to go out and fight, man. You always said you want to go for the knockout. What are you going to say?
Ain't no gangster. Gangster.
No gangster? What's your reply?
Tomorrow night.
David, final word?
Nothing.
Nothing to say. We'll leave it all in the cage. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, David Round, Aidas Sirkauskas, one more time. Make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, another title, this time at middleweight and mixed martial arts. Would you please welcome, representing Poland, David Yarovinko. David Yarovinko weighs in.
David Yarovinko weighs in at 184.4 pounds.
David will be fighting his opponent, Filippo Giannetti, representing Italy. David, your opponent's not here, man. What do you have to say to him?
Tomorrow night I'm gonna smash this boy, guys.
How does it end?
Finish inside 1 round, brother.
Under 1 round. Listen, guys, there's a reason to watch this show. Everyone going for the first round knockout or the first round sub. You're gonna submit him or knock him out.
First round knockout.
Knockout. There you go, David Yarovinko. The middleweight title at 185 pounds is up for grabs. Ladies and gentlemen, the co-main event tomorrow night, we'll see Jan Lysak. Jan, representing the Czech Republic.
Jan Lysak weighed in at 204.6 pounds.
Jan will be fighting Jamie Sloan. That's the co-main event tomorrow night, Pro MMA. Jan, a quick word, man. Listen, co-main event tomorrow. How do you feel about it?
Nothing unusual. I missed the main event.
What do you expect from Jamie Sloan? He's a guy that people know around here. What do you think?
I expect, like when you fly, when you point the red flag in front of pool, that's exactly what Jamie is. He comes out and he starts singing and just trying to take people's head out.
What are you going to do about that?
We'll see. Let's try to surprise him.
All right. I'm looking forward to it, Jan. Congratulations. All right. We look forward to seeing you out there tomorrow night, man. Co-main event, Jamie Sloan, Jan Lysak. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue. This is tomorrow night's main event. And it will be for the professional MMA super middleweight title. Introducing your first fighter, the challenger, representing AVT. Make some noise for Robbie Kennedy.
Robbie Kennedy weighing in at 195 pounds.
That's 195 even for Robbie Kennedy. And he will be taking on the Predator, Andy Manzolo. Andy Manzolo, the champ, weighing in deep. What are the numbers, man?
Andy Predator Manzolo, 195 pounds.
Champion and challenger, 195, even tomorrow's main event. Andy Predator Manzolo taking on Robbie Kennedy. Estonia taking on England. Let's hear it for the main event. Robbie, a quick word, and I'm going to talk to you afterwards. Robbie, listen, we've had a lot of talk about this fight. You come in on short notice. You said it's not going 3 rounds, no way, no how. Everyone said that here tonight, to be fair. What do you have to say to Andy now that he's in front of you?
I'm looking forward to a good fight.
What do you think he's going to do to you? What are you going to do to him?
He's going to try to set me down. He's not going to do the striking. That's all. I know he's a game plan. He's going to try to set me down. He can't do my striking.
Now, I talked to him actually a couple of nights ago, and he said he doesn't think you're going to strike with him.
Oh, I will strike tonight, Robbie. We will see. If we're going on the round, it's going to be game over. Believe me. But I will strike. I never strike hard.
He's a tall guy. Does that worry you at all?
I believe, I know. He's TNT. I give him respect, nothing else. And we will strike together.
The challenge has been issued, Robbie. He said he's going to stand. You buy it?
Yeah, we'll have a stand and bang. It'll be a good night. It's going to be a fight of the night. Think close up.
All right, Robbie, there's a lot of people watching, man. What do you got to say to the fans?
Thanks for everyone supporting me. Thanks for everyone, just showing love. And like I said, we're just here to fucking just take it. Show your levels, man. There's levels to this shit. Like I keep telling everyone, there's levels to this shit. UK talent gets very underrated. So we're here to put raw talent, AVT, martial arts on the fucking map.
Robbie Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. Andy, the champ gets the final word here. You're the main event tomorrow. What do you have to say to the people watching and those in attendance?
It's gonna be a great fight, I wanna see. It's gonna be lots of respect and it's gonna be fireworks. Just don't miss. This fight can finish in 5 minutes. I don't know. It's gonna be first round. If you're going to the second round, it's gonna be amazing.
All right, there we go. Mutual respect. The challenge has been issued. The main event tomorrow night. Andy, the Predator Mazzolo. Robbie Kennedy. Ladies and gentlemen, we also got Finn Cowell here in attendance here tonight. He's shown up. Finn, let's get you up, man.
Finn Cow weighing in at 168.8 pounds.
168.8. Finn, you are fighting Butte Waters. Butte couldn't make it. Sorry, I missed you, man. We're still on YouTube. What do you have to say to Butte?
I'm the people's main event. Everyone wants to see this fight. Sucks that he can't make it, but we all have plans and stuff. So it's cool.
What do you expect?
3 rounds, slugfest, split decision.
There you go. Fight of the night, man. All right. There we go. Mic drop. Ceremonial weigh-ins. We're going to rock the studio. If you want to talk to us, all you got to do is talk to Natalie and she'll bring you over and join. We're going to jump out and talk to the fans. So we'll rock it for about 30 or 40 minutes. If you do want to come and talk, you're a fighter, you're a fan, you can join us here. Welcome back to the official weigh-in. Chris Hoekstra, D. Midhat, and
Kane
one of the
Strait.
international fighters,
Yeah.
man. Kane Strait, man. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you too. Well, not to see you. I've already seen you.
Nice to meet you in person, right?
Yeah, it is. Better than on the camera.
So what do you make of Jurgen Struan? You just saw him here tonight in person.
I feel like he's ready. To be fair, I do think he's ready. But to be fair, I'm ready. I'm probably more ready than him, and I know that 100%. Looked into his eyes. I told him to get close, and I could see that he doesn't want it. But, you know, he does look good. He looks fit and ready. So it'll be fucking fireworks come tomorrow.
Now, Dean, we know these guys. We know the camp. We know Ula Hetlaflat. We saw the look between the two. You've seen this a dozen times before? Probably more than a dozen times. They were DMing each other, apparently. But what's your thoughts?
So, Kane, coming in 0-0, what is the experience you bring to the cage in your debut fight going to allow you to take this one?
Back in November, I had a boxing match. So I finished the guy in 2 rounds. I think he got like 7 punches on me. So I bring dynamic striking to it, which I don't think Jorgen's got much striking. He has a good class of wrestling. But I feel like I got better striking to him, and I will light him up on tomorrow. Come first round, come second round, and hopefully he goes down in the second, and then I'll finish the show there and then.
So the old debut factor in MMA doesn't concern you at all?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. Even though like I had my boxing match back in November, I've been training MMA for a good 9 months now, nearly a year coming up. But no, I feel ready for this. Like I said on the interview, I've been thinking about Jorgen since December. Just mainly on him. Obviously, I had to pull out in February because of shoulder, but now I'm here and I'm ready to fucking bust his face up.
What do you reckon is the outcome? Do you think it's a quick fight? Do you think it's a long fight?
I don't think it's a quick fight. I reckon both medics will be patching us up in the back. I do hope that as well. I want to put a show for the fans. And it will be a fucking good one, and I will knock him out in the second.
Dean, he actually told me in the pre-fight interview that he was going to make Jurgen not want to be a fighter anymore.
So my question to you is, you want to keep this fight standing, right? What have you been doing in the gym to make sure that you can keep your back off the cage and work those sprawl and ball tactics?
Yeah, it would be lovely, be honourable to have a standing fight, but everyone's going to be like misjudging my wrestling. I do have wrestling. It is good wrestling as well. The defense, is good. The offense is amazing as well. I'm ready for this fight. There is like no chance in hell it's going to go in his favour. It's going to be mainly in my favour. And yes, I would love to keep it up on the feet. But if it goes down to the ground, I'm ready. And I'm ready to light him up on the ground as well.
Final question for you, because we're going to grab on the co-main event here in a moment. But what do you want to do with this? Where do you want to take this whole thing?
I would love to take this. I want a title. But I want the featherweight title. I want the winner of tomorrow night. I want the winner of Ross or Ole. And yeah, I do want that fight. And I feel like I got the skill sets to beat Ross or to beat Ole. So we'll see what happens Saturday. And then if I feel like comfortable coming down the featherweight, I'll go down the featherweight and become that featherweight champion.
All right, there you go. Kane Stray, Jurgen Scruin tomorrow night, Supreme Championship 17 pay-per-view, O2 Bournemouth. I love it. Kane, we'll see you soon, all right, brother?
See you soon, man.
Thank
you.
Cheers. You can take the headset off. Dean, what do you make of it, man? We saw a lot of fun stuff there at the weigh-in.
Yeah, again, the buzz. And even with the guys that are coming in at 0-0, they've got that tenacity about them. They've got that MMA spirit ingrained in them. They want to come here, perform on the big stage. Supreme Cage Fighting Championships is huge in Bournemouth, and this is the place to be.
Now, we saw like some guys pretty cool, and we saw some guys pretty animated. What's the difference?
Well, that's the thing. It could be a lot of the psychological prep as well. You get these feelings that kind of fight the fight or flight. And some of the trash talk masks that. It allows you to kind of be in the moment and shake away some of those nerves and really feel what it's like to be on that stage.
Now, Robbie, you're no stranger to all this kind of fight or flight.
Yeah.
We talked a couple of nights ago, and you were so cool. That was one of the things that really struck me. You know, you're so comfortable with the whole going in, competing, flying, maybe a little tired, maybe everything wasn't quite optimal. You've had more than 100 fights.
Yeah.
Probably in total: kickboxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu,
so many.
boxing as well, right?
Yeah, I've done a bit of boxing. You know, like I said, I had 6 fights in boxing. Jiu-jitsu, like I said, I'm in double figures now for competitions. Amateur MMA, like I said, I've had 5. Pro MMA, this will be my 5th one tomorrow. But yeah, kickboxing, like I said, I couldn't tell you. You know, I've had tournaments that I've been to, and you know, I've had 7 fights in one day. So I couldn't tell you how many fights I've had over the years. You know, I've been doing it since 2012, been competing in kickboxing. So yeah, man, just enjoying the journey.
One of the coolest things was to actually see you and Andy actually face off, and there seemed to be some determination from both to actually put on a show.
Yeah.
but some respect as well.
Yeah, I mean, I respect the guy. You know, like I said, I'm not here to disrespect anyone. You know, or be arrogant. That's not my style. You know, like I said, I respect anyone that steps in the cage, the ring, or on the mats, because you know you're stepping into the unknown territory. And I respect anyone that does that. You know, whether you're a journeyman or whether you're a proper fighter. You know, respect you because you're still stepping in there to fight. And you know, it takes balls, man. You know, not a lot of people have them. So yeah. There's determination from both sides. You know, obviously, I'm coming to his hometown, or you know, thereabouts, and you know, we're both looking to put on a show. Like I said, I want to fight at night. I want to knock him out. I'm not gonna, you know, no two ways about it. I want to knock him out. I want another highlight reel. Simple as that.
Now, Dean, one of the things he's going to bring to this fight is that full contact, waist up rules kickboxing. He's got ISKA background. You're world champ, multiple-time world champ.
Multiple world champion. ISKA's WKC. You know, some of the organisations I fought in over the years. But yeah, ISKA's. I fought in Jamaica with them. I fought in Greece. Obviously WKC, America, Islands. Yeah, so yeah, I've been about.
Now, when you bring those styles into MMA, he's only 2-2 in MMA, but we've seen a lot of other fighters make that drift over the years from various unique striking styles. What do you make of that matchup? Because Manzolo is a veteran in MMA. He's also a pretty good Thai fighter, good jiu-jitsu fighter. Do you think the edge may be for Manzolo in going to the ground, or do you expect him to stand?
It's an interesting fight, but what I like, it brings the old school questions. Back in the day, it was who won, the striker or the wrestler. Now we're seeing the point style come from your type of style. The in and out footwork, the bouncing in and out of range, and the power at the end of that range. Conor McGregor, Tyron Woodley, they have power right at the end of their punches. And it's really interesting to see the traditional grappler, gritty wrestlers, boxing just to keep the cherry on the top, faced with the new school footwork. It's really interesting for us to see on the outside. How do you believe that your footwork is going to make the difference in this fight?
I'm just too quick for him. You know, I know my speed. You know, I know we're over 30s. We're both over 30s. You know, I'm not
Speak for yourself, man.
I'm 34. He's 37 or something. So you know, we're in the over 30s zone. You know, with the masters or veterans, whatever you want to call us. So you know, like I said, I know I'm going to have that little. I'm just going to be 1-2. I'm going to be a little step too fast for him, and he's going to be chasing, he's going to be following, and that's when I'm going to look to finish. You know, when he's chasing and he's following, might be a bit clumsy. You know, with his guard. I've seen his guard. Like I said, I've watched his fights. I've done my research a little bit, and you know, like I said, he looks to strike a little bit, and then he looks to take down because he can't keep up with his striking. So that's why I called him out here. You're going to look to take me down because you can't keep up with my striking, mate. I know what he is. If he wants to stand and bang, like I said, someone's getting knocked out, and it's not going to be me.
Now, do you have a plan if it does go to the ground? I mean, I see you got the Cheesecake Assassin, man, Danny Mitchell there. You've got a great corner.
Yeah, we've been working on so much. You know, I'm blessed to have someone like Danny Mitchell in my corner. I'm blessed to have him at the gym and to be training under him. You know, he's a high-level, you know, MMA, you know, veteran. You know, he's a credit to the UK MMA scene. You know, and like I said, we've been working so much, half-guard defence, Kimura traps, and I'm ready to go. You know, like I said, I know my grappling's getting better. You know, I even compete in just Empire grappling tournaments, you know, because I want to be a martial artist. I don't just want to be a kickboxer. I don't just want to be a boxer. I don't just want to be a jiu-jitsu fighter. I want to mix it all up. You know, that's why I will go and challenge myself and go do gi competition, go do no gi. Get out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to just stay in my comfort zone and just keep it standing and striking. If I see a takedown, I might take him down. But I want to keep it standing, man. We'll see where it goes.
I love it, man. Main event tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Robbie Kennedy challenging for the title, super middleweight, and it's against Danny Manzolo. Any final words, man? I mean, we had you get the final words up on stage a moment ago, but I'm going to ask you to do it again because people are watching.
Thank you, everyone. So, like I said, I just want to shout out all my team that has followed me. You know, Danny Mitchell has brought us down, AVT. We've also got Leeds Martial Arts with us, Scramble, Jiu-Jitsu. Got Underhooks, got Eric Skier, XS Guard, Vulcanite. Mikado Island, Headstrong, Mataleo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Anyone that I've forgot, I apologise. You know, like I said, I just want to support everyone that supported me on my journey. Just a big thank you.
Oos,
brother. I'll see you on the mat soon. Anyway, soon we'll have to.
You gotta hold the pads, right?
Yeah, I'll hold the pads for you. Yeah, I got them in car, man. We'll get some rounds in soon, man.
Sounds good. Have a good evening, all right, man?
Thank you, brother.
Cheers.
Look after.
All the best.
Thank
Yeah.
You. See you soon. Thank you.
Man, I love that main event.
Very interesting. Again, the footwork versus the old school MMA gritty style. It's going to be very interesting. If you can keep that range and slip those shots as Manzolo comes in.
Now, do you buy Manzolo's promise?
Tactics of the game says he wants to take this fight to the ground. He might taste a little bit of power, and then what we might see is the kind of automatic plan kick in where he just goes for a takedown. If he gets wobbled, he eats a kick, eats an uppercut, or even a knee. He might just switch then to take the fight to the ground. And he likes to press back to the cage. So again, the footwork's going to be a key.
Do you see this fight going quick?
It's either going to go real quick or potentially the distance. Because if Manzolo can get on top and nullify the game, stay in the top position, keep the ref happy, or we're going to see a knockout at that range with that beautiful points fighting style with power on the end of it. It's the perfect matchup to answer that.
What else do you like about the card tomorrow? Who'd you like on the face-offs earlier? Anybody stick out?
All a Hetler flat. I just love what he encompasses. He travels from his country where it's illegal to fight in mixed martial arts. So he comes all this way to compete real tough guys in a top show. He puts it all on the line, and his technique is picture perfect. His double leg is beautiful. He'll lift them right up to the sky, slam them straight down.
Why the whole nonchalant, almost don't want to talk attitude, do you reckon?
It might be a language barrier, but also, again, what I said to you about the psychology, to be in like the zone of optimal functioning, you don't want to tip yourself away, and only you know who's best. If you sit there and give the bravado and get angry, sometimes that can pull in negative emotions. So I think he's just trying to keep it chilled, he's trying to keep it on his level and come and perform.
Listen, I didn't mean to ignore you. I was trying to get this guy over here. We got one more round in the house, man.
You got me, finally.
How you doing?
Is that on? Am I on?
No, it's not on. Let me help you. Turn around. Listen, what
That's
an
it.
opportunity, right?
We on? You good?
We
Camera
are.
on, yeah?
That's the camera. Come over
camera.
here a little bit closer to me. David,
Camera.
how you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Better now I've seen you.
Yeah, right? We had a good chat the other night. You were
Brilliant,
drinking
yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah. I'm
You had a
smoking.
beer.
Yeah.
You had a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I said, you got to fight in 3 days. And you were like, and?
I had a beer today at my dinner. I'll have a beer tomorrow.
One of the things that really stuck out to you, or about me, one of the things that really stuck out to me about you was every question I asked, I was like, what makes a great fighter? And you're like, he wants to fight. What makes an exciting fight? It's people who actually want to go out and fight.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I want to go out and fight.
Yeah.
And you gave the same answer over and over and over. And Dean, I mean, it's like David one more round is a fighter's fighter.
Yeah, that's it. That's what you want. You want to come down tomorrow and you want to watch someone punch the fuck out of each other for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and I will do that. Whether it's 3 minutes or 13 or 35. I will put that show on for you.
And one of the coolest things that we actually had a chat about was like kind of David's experience in the old school days, you know, back in the early days of Bama, back in the early days of Cage Warriors and all that like that, or even Cage Rage. I mean, you remember those days. That was back when you were competing.
Yeah.
Has the era of the fighter who just wants to go out and fight gone by?
There's a select few, and this is one of them, one of the best. But I gotta ask you, man, what is about your name? Is it the Welsh Gangster?
The Gangster Prince of Wales.
Gangster Prince of Wales. Tell us about that. What made you pick that?
I didn't. I actually rocked up to a weigh-in with a bottle of water, bottle of Coke, and I can't remember who it was. Said, Dave, I've got a bottle of Coke. Fighters have Coca water. They have Vita water. And I said, yeah, well, gangsters weighing with cans of Coke. And I went from there, and then Gangster Prince of Wales came up.
I like it.
Now, we just saw you against Idis Sikauskas.
Yeah.
You fought Andy Manzolo as coach before.
Yeah.
You're now fighting Idis.
Yeah.
The dude looked pumped. He looks pretty big, too.
Yeah, he's 90-odd kilo. He's like 6 kilo heavier than me, but he's got no legs. He's pretty much one-trick pony, so I'll have the experience on him. I don't think he'll go past the second round with me.
You expecting this and then this,
That's
right?
yeah, that's it. That's all he's going to do.
And how are you going to deal with it?
I'm not going to say I'm going to deal with him, but I think you know I will. I'm going to block with my face, first of all, to show he can't knock me out. So after a minute of him realising he can't knock me out and taking his heart and his will, then I'm going to fuck him up.
Now, Round has experience in kickboxing, MMA, boxing, bare knuckle, maybe some alligator wrestling.
Yeah, fucking, the sheep down with us, they tend to get out. Fucking, so I'm just going to fucking get them back in.
Sometimes I feel like that comfort, that extreme comfort. I mean, bare knuckle is wild. I mean, that can benefit when you take on a guy who's only been training like a year or so. Idis is tough. We saw him the last time. What do you make of that matchup?
Well, that's again another facet of the game we see from very experienced, calm and collected, and an amazing awareness of the psychological game. He comes in, he's chilling, he's cracking jokes, and you see some of the other...
He's cracking beers, man.
Cracking beers, too. Some of the other fighters are lesser on the card, less experienced.
Yeah.
Sometimes they buy into the bravado, they get a bit nervous, they get aggressive, they want to show their face. But again, we see the old school fighters, the calm and collected. When you fight, you can't be mad. You can't be a bull chasing the red tape. You've got to be calm and collected. You've got to think about what's coming, and it's a perfect example of that.
David, listen, man, you've had a fun career. We've known each other for years. We had some fun fights over the years.
Yeah.
We were actually reminiscing about the LFC days.
Yeah.
Back, I mean, like the original one in the tent, you know, and Round was it was absolute mad. But what would you say to the people watching, man? You've had a fun career. You've been in so many different places and fought in some really memorable fights. I mean, what do you got to say to the fans?
Thank you for the support the last 14 years. There's always going to be one more fight. If I finish tomorrow night, I will. If I don't, you don't know. You know it's like with me. I'm always ready for another fight. So retirement's not yet, but it's just coming soon.
And you've seen so much over the years. I mean, how do you reflect on it all, being here in Bournemouth?
You know, we've just had Paul Daly retire. He's one of the guys fighting from the 2000s, like myself. There's not many of us from the 2000s still fighting. And it's nice to still be at one of them guys that's still going.
I love it, man. I'm stoked. David, we'll see you, brother. All right. We're going to grab someone else in a moment, but I'll see you in the Supreme Championships cage.
You've got to speak to Gary because he's giving me a lift, so don't fucking be long. He's taking me back to the hotels. You've got like 4 minutes.
All right.
And I'm going to fucking whoop his ass, otherwise.
All right.
Good luck, man.
David Round, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers, brother. Take that, yeah. Dean, I love it, man. I always love talking to David.
Yeah, I mean, a very exciting fight, a great camaraderie, a great character as well. It's always good when he's here doing the presses, but even better when he's in the cage.
Yeah, amen to that. Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
All right, yeah.
It's been time.
It's been a while, yeah. Not fighting tomorrow, unfortunately. But here to support all the guys and all the Team Supreme and all the fighters on the show looking good. So, yeah, it should be a good evening tomorrow.
Now, Gary, the fans will probably remember you from the main event last time. How do you reflect on that one? How do you reflect on what happened since?
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a roller coaster. So I've had the last 2 Supreme shows. I did quite well. I had some good fights, both ending quickly in the first round. You know, a couple of roller coaster fights there, which is good. But then I got the opportunity to fight on Muay Thai Grand Prix, which is sort of Europe's leading Muay Thai show, and I fought a very a future star inside Kabil, who's undefeated as well, 100% knockout ratio as well. And unfortunately, one of us was going to go, and it was just my time to take a shot. So that's the reason I'm not on tomorrow night, because I've obviously had to recover. The guys at the gym have forced me to take some time out now and sort of make sure I'm healing properly and doing all the right things. So, I hope to be back on the Supreme next time. Where are we now? May, June, July. August show, I think I'll be back. Yeah. So I'll be back to defend my title in August. Yeah.
There you go. Gary Corbett, gracious in victory, always gracious, and gracious in defeat. Dean, we got to love Gary, man. He's got that martial arts mindset.
Yeah, and he always pulls out the bag as well. We saw from the finishes in the Supreme cage, he's able to pull it out. You know, and he's got the experience as well of everyone wants to win. But when you take that loss, it's another learning experience that you do have to get over, because a lot of guys don't come back and compete. You know, and Gary's doing the right thing, taking the layoff, listening to his coaches now, and the evolution of the fighter continues.
What do you want next?
Another exciting fight. Anyone? I don't mind.
Rules, man. I want rules. I want data points here.
I will take on another winning fighter who's, hopefully got a name on the UK scene. But yeah, I mean, there's no easy fights on Supreme, so I know whoever they put me in with is going to be, a tough challenge and somebody that potentially could take my belt away. So. What I'd say is the good thing about Supreme is all the fights are 50-50. They're all very well matched, and you see that in how exciting all the fights are across the card. So, I won't name any names. I think that's somebody else's job to call out a champion. So, whoever wants it, hopefully we can get it on next time.
Kickboxing for sure. Kickboxing for sure.
Yeah, K1 again. Yeah, I've got to defend the title, I guess, and maybe after I make a defense, maybe I can eye up one of the other belts there, but K1 for now.
Awesome, man. Well, Gary Corbett, that's in your future. Again, we're live, man. We're rolling. Anything to the fans?
No, just
Funky
make
Fight
sure that
Wraps?
you're here.
Plug.
Fight Wraps, yeah, funkyfightwraps.com for hand wraps. But more importantly, just make sure you check out the show tomorrow night. All of the guys from Team Jordan Miller MMA and all the local teams have done everything right, and there's going to be some crazy fights. Yeah, it's going to be a really good night. I can't wait for it.
We're stoked about it too. Thanks for coming on, Gary. Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
I'm not going to get between these two here.
All right,
I'll take that. Ooh. Dun, dun, dun. I love this. I love this, man. Listen, I'm going to go straight into it. We got the agent, Jordan English, who is wearing possibly the greatest shirt I've ever seen. Where'd you get that from?
I got it made by the best striking coach in the world, Natalie Queen B, my striking coach that helps you on a week-to-week basis, makes me better, and I think we're all going to see that now tomorrow.
So hold on. She's a kickboxing world champ, she's a coach, and she's a T-shirt designer?
She's not just a kickboxing champion, she's a multiple kickboxing champion.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, clearly a designer. The obviously nickname's Agent English.
Yeah.
The way it came about is working sales. So I used to
I
basically used to turn up at the gym in a 3-piece suit every day. And on about day 3 or 4 of me joining the gym, I was called Agent English, and it's kind of stuck since, you know. So I've got the tuxedo T-shirt to walk out in tomorrow. I've got the tuxedo boxers on as well, if you can see that or not. So I'm just trying to promote myself, you know. So I put a lot of hard work into this. The weight cut was actually really, really easy. I've been dieting now for about 10 weeks. Birthday was March 24th. Still got the cake frozen in the freezer. So yeah, I'm going to take that out tomorrow afternoon before I leave to defrost some for when I get back. But yeah, man, so I got type 1 diabetes, so I wanted to do it right. Obviously, I'd never done a proper weight cut before. I've done a couple of them charity fights. First one, obviously, many years ago, lost out by decision. Second one, finished them in the last round. Granted, it was only a charity fight, so I'm not taking too much from that. Yeah, joined the gym, joined Supreme Gym in September. Bounced around a few gyms before that, to be honest with you. Not naming particular gyms. I think we spoke about this, didn't we? It was you get a bit of politics, don't you, in some gyms, and to be honest with you, just never found the right one, so I never trained properly. And to be honest with you, I hit the gold dust with Supreme. Not only are they amazing, not only have I seen my skills, you know, improve dramatically, but they are amazing. They're like a family now. So yeah, I can't thank basically Natalie Queen B now enough. Jordan Miller. Some days, you know, he makes you feel like he doesn't want to, you know, don't want to teach you, but, you know, he calls you funny names and he digs at you. He's already told me tomorrow I get a day off that. He said tomorrow it's all about you and being serious. He said, but don't worry, that will be, you know, be calling me nicknames and calling me names and stuff, you know. They make training fun. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on there, self-promote myself a little bit just before tomorrow. Opponent didn't even turn up today. Nothing against him, because obviously he took the fight on a week's notice after my last one pulled out. I'm not being disrespectful here, but you don't pull out of a fight from an injury, and then literally a week later you're in photos, you know, training. Granted, it was a seminar, so you might have wanted to learn a little bit, but if you're injured, right? So that's all I want to say, really.
Now, Dean, obviously, you know, we hear a lot of fighters talk about their prep and their game plan, their attitude. You saw him weigh in. The guy's absolutely shredded. That's proof.
Yeah, it's an interesting point as well, the diabetes. How does that factor in? Do you have like a specific nutritional program that you stick to and then make sure the injection's on the correct time every day, and you stuck to that for 10 weeks?
So funnily enough, obviously, as I said, bouncing around gyms and that, I've never actually been on a strict diet. I've had diabetes since I was 11 years old, and just didn't look after what I ate, and it actually got used to that. It got used to around, you know, KFC, McDonald's, Chinese. Everyone loves that stuff, right? But it got a bit excessive, and my insulin and stuff, you know, became used to that. So changed my diet up. It did hit a few rifts, to be honest with you. Not going to lie, but I'm not, you know, it's not taking anything away from it. It kind of needed readjusting. A couple of trips down, not to the hospital, but down to the clinic, you know, just to reevaluate things. But everything's actually aligned perfectly. Sleep, you know, insulin. But you are right. I've been dieting. I've been eating between 10 and 6 every day. You know, just trying to get that fasting in. So I've been doing my meals same time, my injections the same time. it took a bit of getting used to at the start, but I found my sweet spot, and today's actually been amazing. Obviously, don't really eat yesterday, so that was a bit of a challenge for me. So I had some broccoli in the morning, and it was fine. My diabetes was fine. I went into the sauna last night, cut the weight. I actually cut a little bit more than I needed to, just in case it went a little bit haywire. And I was actually drinking water last night, eating some chicken last night before I went to bed. And I wanted to be professional, bang on the money. So I stood there on the scale this morning, eating a nice ollie. About 6:30 this morning. I was at the gym 6 a.m. No one else was there. I was the first one there. Only reason I wasn't the first one on the scale because I was upstairs watching the Ultimate Fighter episode 2 on the TV, just chilling in the living room type of thing. So yeah, diabetes is fine. I feel shredded. Everyone's telling me I look shredded, apparently.
You look. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, we hear stuff all the time from fighters young in their career, and they're saying this and that, and they're doing this, and they're taking photos. Bro, you look the part. And that doesn't come without hard work, period.
I wanted to get my confidence in, and the only way you can get confidence is from that preparation, isn't it? So
exactly.
Yeah, I hope we can see it. I feel good. I feel confident. I feel, massive respect. Honestly, massive respect to the guy. Afraid I don't actually know his name properly, for stepping in. At least it gives me a fight. Up until Thursday, I didn't know a name. I didn't see a picture. I was actually a bit. They've been a bit vague, so I was getting a bit worried that I wasn't going to even have a fight, and I was still pushing tickets on people and that, because I want my supporters there.
So you care a lot about this fight, I take it.
Massively. As I said, I've made the biggest sacrifices out of everyone in my gym. I'd like to think I've made the biggest sacrifice out of everyone who stood on that stage site, including the main event. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's how serious I'm taking this. As I said to you in that interview, didn't I? Asked my partner. She just is, yeah. I'll be treating her after. Let's just say that, because of especially last week, when the carbs have gone down, and the tension's gone up. But I feel amazing. I really do.
You love it though, don't you?
It's not cocky, I felt confident when we had that interview many weeks ago.
No, I remember. Yeah.
And it's just grown. That has grown. Yeah.
But I can tell you actually love it. Like, that's the thing. Like, some people look at that and they're like, oh, I don't want to go through all that. I've got to make weight. I've got to do this, that, and the other. You actually seem to love that process. Am I right?
Yeah, it took a bit getting used to, right? I got a sweet tooth. I'll tell you that. I don't care. I've got diabetes.
Me too,
I used to go shopping with my mum, and she'd joke around with the person on the till saying, "Oh, you wouldn't believe he's got diabetes." It's been hard, They say sugar craving's the most addictive thing, right? Sugar. It took a while. It was a lot of hard work to not open up that cupboard, because there's still. My partner, she hasn't had to do anything else. So we still continue to get some stuff on the shopping list that I haven't been able to eat. But I tell you what, I've been stocking up now. I've been stocking up. Go on my Instagram page, Jordan English 49. You'll see on my story literally right now the cake that someone at work just made me. And
happy birthday, by the way.
What, for back in March?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank
right?
you.
Because you're going to celebrate,
was
right?
It? I celebrated it. This was me pushing the boat out. I went to Harvester. I had some sausages, some bacon.
The
some
Toby
eggs.
Carvery? Is that the
Harvester?
The Harvester.
It's like
we used to
Toby
go to the
Carvery.
Toby back in the day. Do you remember that, man?
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
Eastbourne?
Excellent roast.
Is it now the Harvester?
No, it's just separate. Harvesters that you
Separate?
get your salad, right? And then your food.
With the salad bar, right?
Right.
The whole
Toby Carvery's a bit more
buffet,
cheap,
right?
a bit more low quality, but
Bro, listen, no, you want to know some stories? We used to train together. Well, that's a whole other story, really, with the water bottle and the MMA warehouse. And hey, man, do you train? And I was like, yeah. And then we became friends, we became broadcast partners, and we used to go to the Harvester. We used to go to the Toby as well.
Yeah, believe that.
Listen, hey, I got to get some other people on in a
That's
second.
right,
but
mate. I just want to get on it and jump in,
Let me ask you this. Your partner's watching right now. She's dealt with weeks and weeks of this. What do you got to say to her?
I love you, basically. I'll be giving you a big kiss after I smash this guy tomorrow night and I win this fight. And you'll definitely be getting treated. We're going off to Portugal in September. So we're looking forward to that as well. It's a little bit of a long way, but yeah, we'll be treating her. Let's just say paycheck next month. We'll be getting her something special, and hopefully we'll turn it around on her and support her in any way that she wants me to. Love you, darling.
The agent, Jordan English. Great to have you with us, brother.
Mate, thank you very much.
Take care of yourself, okay? We'll see you soon.
Tomorrow, man.
Oos.
Thank you.
I'll take this. Man, vibes, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's so beautiful to see completely different ends of the scale. The guys that are stepping on, they're getting into the motion of being a fighter. And then we see people like David Round that have been here, and they've seen all the lights. And another guy that comes to fight no matter what, Ben Schneider.
Ben?
How you doing? You good?
It's been time, man.
Yeah.
We tried to do an interview.
A few times.
But we're here now, right?
Yeah.
Thank the maker. Ben, you were somewhere in the middle of Scotland. You told me it was really, really pretty out.
Yeah.
The internet signal wasn't so good, though, but you flew down today and tomorrow night.
Yeah, here we are, ready to throw down, as always. Unfortunately, opponent changed, but hey, luckily my new opponent, like a man, stepped up, and he's ready to throw down tomorrow. It's going to be, I think, a rules change as well. It's going to be K1
It's kickboxing.
now.
It's kickboxing.
Yeah.
I know, I totally messed it up. I was like, it's MMA,
Yeah.
it's MMA. And then Dean was like, no. It's kickboxing, Chris.
Yeah.
Get your head on, right? Does that faze you?
Nah, a fight's a fight. And or now I don't have to worry about takedowns or get on top. All I have to worry about, we're going to go in there, we're going to throw some heat. So
I want to talk about tomorrow, but I want to take us back to a memorable evening in Hastings. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
And Ben, you fought, you won.
Yeah.
It was in a theater, I believe, in Hastings, right? Was it War on the Shore, or what was the name of that? It was Glory MMA. It had a couple different names of that promotion.
Yeah.
But it got shut down, actually. They actually shut the show down after you fought. Do you remember that one?
yeah, I remember.
What was your whole reflection on that one? Because that was of all the times we've seen you fight, that was one of the more memorable evenings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of those guys. I seem to maybe I give too much respect to my opponents, which is something I'm going to say for after the fight, for now going forward. I mean, that fight was good because at the weigh-ins, we try. Normally you acknowledge the guy you're fighting, or you don't, and that's you. But I acknowledged him, and him and his team started laughing at me, which is fine. That's even better. And then to go in there and beat him in front of his hometown, in front of all those friends, in front of the people that laughed, it was good. And I heard through the grapevine that it was his fans that kicked off.
Oh, was it?
That's what I heard.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got so many memories. Like even the last Supreme show, like when the Storm something.
Oh, yeah.
And you drove like 12 hours from snow all the way down to fight.
Yeah.
And people weren't making it. We barely made it. I mean, it was chaos. But you're one of those guys that's just like super down to earth and super determined to get out there and make that walk. And I love that. I really respect that.
You only have one life, and I don't know where I'm going to go after when it's over, but I know what I don't want to be, and that's stuck in a room listening to all the great stories from the person that said yes to all the things I said no to. So I'm just going to keep going with it, until everyone's had enough of seeing me.
I think a lot of people don't understand Ben, right? Because we see him fight, we see him in different places, mostly MMA and kickboxing.
Yeah,
right?
mostly.
But like one of the nicest dudes in the fight circuit. Period.
Again, what we said about earlier when we were speaking to David Round, this is another guy that comes to fight. You pick up the phone, you call him, he gets on a plane, and he comes in and performs. And we've seen you evolve in the cage over the years. He's got crazy power, so I'm excited that it's a K1 fight now.
Took Manzolo down last time.
Exactly, yeah. And we were dumbfounded, and we talked for a living. That was beautiful. So it's always, I'm so excited when I see you on the card because I know it's going to be a fight.
Now, we've seen, obviously, the opponent change. You've seen Ben fight a lot. What's your make of that whole thing? What's your breakdown there?
If it was anybody else, some of the guys would worry about game plans and speak to their coach. I don't know what to do. Fight change, but Ben's not one of those guys.
What do you think?
Gloves up, and it goes off.
Yeah, as always, I'm going to fight. I'm going to put on a show. In a fight, I think if your game plan is get in there quick and finish them within the first round or the first minute, that's cool. That's your game plan. That's you. Take my hat off. But this is the fight game. And when that doesn't work against someone and you can't beat him quick and he doesn't go the whole way, I train. It's a marathon. I want to win in the last second of the last round. So I know I'm a slow starter, so I'm expecting it to go, if not all the way, it's going to go into a few rounds.
I love it, man. I love it. What's the craziest fight you ever had, would you say?
Craziest. I mean, I flew to Denmark on 3 days' notice to fight their Danish kickbox champion in MMA. And I came out, we threw some hands, and he took me down. So that was quite crazy because he knocked me out with an elbow, brought me back round with another one, and knocked me out again while we were down on the floor. So it was a real crazy night, real crazy. It was good.
Do you find it like tough, like fighting that frequently and having to, because you're training, you're working, you work a really, really tough job. Mm-hmm. I mean, tell people about that because again, I don't think people know your whole story. I mean, one of these days we will sit down, we will get that internet working, and we'll talk about your background and getting into fight sports and so on. But you manage a pretty tough job. You got a family as well.
Yeah, I've got to try and juggle
working away, in the gas industry, pipelining and whatever else we're doing.
Scotland,
as well
right?
as we're up in Scotland at the minute. Been there for 2 years. So to do that in a rotation scenario where you're 10 days on, 4 days off, and then work those 12, 10-hour days to then go and train for 2-3 hours, and then try and get enough sleep to get up and go to work the next day. People don't really see that. And leading up, like I finished work yesterday, flew down here today, and I'm back in work, next week, back in work Monday. So I fly back tomorrow, I'm back in. And unfortunately, because I'm not here because of my math, I'm actually fighting next Saturday as well. In London, so that'll be another week of hard work again after this. What I'm sure is going to be a great fight, straight into another great fight.
He's a maniac, Dean.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. You want people to get in there and perform in the cage. And again, it's so excited every time you're on the card because we know it's going to be crazy. We know you turn up, you pick up the phone, and he comes to fight.
We were actually talking to David Round earlier, and I asked him, like, what makes a great fighter? And he's like, someone wants to fight. What makes a great fight? People actually want to go out there and fight, right? And he's somebody who's been around for the best part of 15 years. I think he's had nearly 100 fights in various styles. Do you think that's the key to being a truly kind of entertaining person who wants to go out and period finish, Because we saw, I'm trying to think about the fight. We actually spoke about it with a couple of the fighters this past week. Logan Storley versus MVP, right?
Yeah.
Scott Coker went out there after that Bellator event in London and was like, that wasn't really a fight.
No, it wasn't.
Nobody wants to see that in the main event.
No.
I mean, what do you make of that?
I mean, it's difficult to say because obviously my past fights don't really speak for themselves. So if you're watching them, you sort of say, what? But I'm a slow starter. You see me in the gym. You see me in fights that go a couple of minutes or even go all the way. When I fought abroad, I fought a 1 10-minute round fight with a 5 minute for a second round, and that went all the way to a draw.
Pride rules.
So, pride rules, exactly. That's what it was. Once I'm given that opportunity and given that right opponent, I'll put a dance on all day, I'll put a show on. But those, like you say, that isn't a fight. If you come in and you hold someone or you punch their guard till the ref stops it, I mean, that's not a fight. So then people might say, oh, okay, well, it's going to be struggle to get him on another show, okay? But you go out there, you put on a good fight, but it finishes quick, okay, but it was exciting. That's what people pay for.
Yep, and they'll remember you.
Yeah.
Man, we're going to pick up this conversation, I promise. We got to get someone else on in a minute, and we will sit down. I mean, to people watching, Ben, you're a super, super cool guy, man. Every time we see each other, man, it's like big hug and hello and how are you, and I think it'd be really, really cool to share more of your story. So we will talk about that, but before we let you go, anything to people watching?
Just tune in. Like I say, my new opponent took it on a day's notice. What a man. So we're going to come in, you're going to see two men fight. Not going to really dwell on what could have been with my past opponent. He's out now, he's done. That's that, cut and dry. So tune in, it's going to be a fight.
Ben Schneider, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming on, brother, all right?
Good luck, man.
I'll take this. Ben's a cool guy. I'll say it to
man.
you. I'll say it with him in front of me.
One of the
I'll say it over and over and over.
One of the last warriors in this game. The old school Spartan warriors. He comes to fight, he goes out on his shield, or he walks out with it.
Perfect. I'm doing double duty here.
You're doing
Kelia
well.
Scott, come on in. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm really excited.
You're waiting to talk to us.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm the last one hanging around. It's usually the way.
How's life?
Really good at the moment. Yeah, and I'm really excited for tomorrow. I thought I'd be really nervous by this point, but actually I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a great night.
How was that? You were the first one up on that stage.
Yeah, first one up tonight, first one up tomorrow. Yeah, probably not where I'd like to be second or third, but yeah, why not lead the way and show them how it's done.
So, Dean, I'm going to fill you in a little about Kelia. Train by day, Amazon by night was the joke. She works nights for Amazon. Nearly finished her PhD. What else? The ferret rescue. You're doing air cadets. You've done a lot of wild stuff over the years. And she really struck me as someone who's really cognizant about always staying super busy to learn. But tomorrow night, a new experience for her in fighting. I mean, it's amazing. The stories.
It's a crazy journey. I wanted to ask you, actually, I've seen some of your journey on Instagram. What does this journey mean to you?
Stalking you.
Yeah. It's common knowledge now. But your journey now starts to propel. For you, what would you like to fill those memories with and look back on when you finish fighting?
I've just really, I think this time it's been about having that team. This has been the greatest experience in terms of having a team around me, and looking back, that's probably what I remember more than the fight, is all of that training. You'll have seen us all today in our lovely matching tracksuits with our Supreme logos on. Yeah, it's that's that's the bit that I think is really going to stick with me, and I think that's the bit that will carry me forward. I don't know how this fight's going to go, and I don't know where I'm going to go from here, but I know with the support of that team that if I do want to take this further, I've got what I need behind me to carry on. So yeah, I think that's more than the fight itself. That's what I'm going to remember and look back on and really take away from this, is how important and how beneficial that team has been.
Was it tough?
It's been really tough. It's been great. It's been very good for my health. I've lost 15 kilos in the 12 weeks that I've been training for this camp. Yeah, that's not including weight cut at the end. I didn't actually have to weight cut this week, which was quite nice. Unlike the rest of the team, I did join them all in the sauna, giving them a hand. But yeah, I was lucky enough that I'd lost it all naturally over the 12 weeks that I've been in this fight camp. So yeah, that's been incredibly tough. But it's completely changed me. I think the last 3-4 weeks, the whole team, we've just turned it up a notch, and our fighting has just improved so quickly. So yeah, it's been brilliant.
How would you describe that kind of funnel feeling as you do get towards fight week?
Yeah, I suppose for the first, probably the first 2 months until you're about 4 weeks out, it doesn't really feel real. Yeah, you've got something to aim for, but you're just, you've upped all your training, you're going through the motions. I'm doing, 12 training sessions a week. I'm doing everything else. I'm doing all the good stuff, the sports massages. I'm doing all the cold water swimming to try and help my muscles and stuff. But it's very much, this is the program, and I'm just following the program. And then 4 weeks away, everything started to change. Everything, you could finally see the differences in everybody, and everything just started to tighten up, and everyone got that bit quicker, that bit smoother, just that bit stronger. And yeah, really just accelerated at that point. To the difference between start and end is incredible.
Can you identify, Dean?
With training. Yeah.
Competing? All the stuff you've done over the years. Coaching. I mean, Dean's a coach.
Yeah.
Coaches jiu-jitsu and MMA.
For me as well, like I'm tail end of it now. The injuries. I went to Thailand to train for a fight and tore my pec off the bone. So it's, for me now, I was asked you about the memories. For me, I look back on what I did and where I fought, and my family in the my mum watching like this,
me?
And those memories, cheering pom poms. Those memories for me made it worth it. I can lay in my bed at night and be like, no regrets, So the kind of, like you say, the funnel, but there's like such a wide funnel at the top of how all the feelings and the new directions in life. You meet different people, you get into different things, and you seem like you've got a lot of things going on. Is there something that you really gravitate towards now that you're gonna fight on the world stage?
This has taken over my life far more than I ever expected. Sorry, I'm just disappearing. I did it as a hobby. I wasn't ever expecting to fight. And it was only just getting into this gym, into Supreme, meeting Nat and Jordan, which was completely by fluke because of COVID. And I thought, I'll help out at the shows because I'm a busy person. I'm a very organised person. They're like, oh, great, we've got somebody who can help run the show behind the scenes. And that's all I was really interested in. And then I watched the first one and was like, oh my God, okay, world's changed. Maybe I do have to give this a try. And I was meant to be on the previous show, and I injured myself. I tore something loose in my knee, which wasn't great. And so I spent the previous fight camp just trying to recover, being able to use my leg at all. Thankfully, that's all sorted now, all fine. But yeah, and I think that just made me more determined to do this. But it does. I'm a very obsessive, so despite all the things that I do, I'm a very obsessive all or nothing sort of person. And this has completely taken over my life for the last 12 weeks. So I think depending on how it goes and depending how I feel, because God, I don't know how I'm going to feel when I actually get out there and I get to the end of the fight. It'll very much have to make a decision as to how much more of my life I can commit to this. I've already started looking for new jobs so that I've got more time.
Don't be watching this. All of the colleagues who bought tickets for tomorrow.
They know. And a load of my colleagues are coming tomorrow night, which is absolutely amazing, to the point where they're coming and I'm the first fight on so that they can then watch me go home and go to bed because they're all working that night. I've obviously booked the week off work because you don't want me in at 1 o'clock in the morning after a fight, no matter if I win or lose. So they've been really supportive, but I really have had to start making decisions about changing my life around. I'm that bit older and I never thought that I would, that it was even worth thinking about taking this further, but the closer I've got and the more I'm enjoying this, the more I'm thinking, well, maybe that's keep going and see where it goes.
Does it frighten you at all?
Sorry?
Does that frighten you at all? The potential?
No. But then I say very little frightens me. I tend to just find opportunities and things. Something I haven't done before, I'm more and more likely to say yeah. And the more somebody tells me no, you can't, the more likely I am to go, yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. I like proving people wrong.
I think politics could be a good opportunity. We need some good ones.
Yeah, I've tried to stay clear of politics. As a scientist, I just get very frustrated. So yeah, I'll stick to fighting people in the ring and less in the political stage, I think.
What if we get one to agree to a matchup, perhaps a local MP?
Now that I could do, yeah.
I'm not asking you to call anybody out on the stream, but listen, let's wrap this one up. Tomorrow night, they're coming to watch you from Amazon. People are going to be watching on the stream. Kelia Scott, it's a new experience. It's a new era. You're the first fighter on the card.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really grateful for all the people that are coming to watch, and I'm just really grateful for the team that I found. This has become completely my family. My family are watching. Unfortunately, they are all abroad. They all live in other countries or work in other countries, so they're all tuning in on the live stream. So I'm also really thankful to my work colleagues and friends from work who are coming to see me in person, because there'll be the support there on the night, which I think will make a big difference as well.
Kelia Scott, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming on, all right?
Thanks ever so much.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
All right, cheers.
Thanks.
Yeah. Take the headset. Man, I'm loving this. I'm loving the music as well. I got to be honest.
I'm loving the cars. I'm quite sad we didn't get the Lambo in the back shot.
Would you let me drive?
You know what? After me.
Come on. Do you remember that time we drove the Subarus?
I was chasing you. I couldn't catch you.
Man, I used to own 2 Subarus, but now I'm like funneled into one, right? I don't know. Listen, man, there's nobody left. I mean, maybe we could talk to Natalie. I'm going to talk to Natalie or Jordan. I'm going to let this roll for just a couple more minutes before we sign off. Kelia, can you find Natalie or Jordan? I want to get one of them on. Awesome, thanks. Double duty, you know? Man, it's beautiful. Sunset. What's not to love, right? Bournemouth is a fun fight city. You know, there's a lot of talk with, like, Guerrilla Fight Team, Andy Manzillo's gym, Predator, Supreme, a couple of other gyms, Wasp Muffins, I think. It's becoming a fight town. There's actually, like, a fight culture in Bournemouth. I mean, and again, like, this isn't something that's novel. I mean, you and I have seen it. I mean, when we met, like we talked about when we met, Eastbourne, Hastings, there was always kind of a fun little between there and Brighton, say, back in the day, like even Sol Gilbert's gym, right? But it's cool to see that is still a thing, and it's here.
Yeah, it's a massive platform. Bournemouth, people talk about it. The taxi driver, who was an older man, he was talking about the fight show. He was even talking about the gym. So they've got a brilliant gym, Supreme Gym, backed onto it, so they can funnel their fighters. They can give them the chance to perform and experience this wonderful, wonderful event.
Now, obviously, like Jordan Miller, who hopefully we'll get on in a moment, and Natalie B. We got Jordan Miller here. I was actually going to talk something about him. We'll get him on. But there's something cool about having a power couple who have both fought at a level, a professional level, making matches, making a show by the fighters for the fighters. There's something cool to see about that, and it works. The results are, well,
can I keep my hat on?
You can.
I've got terrible hair.
Dean, what do you think about that, though? I mean, because obviously that's who's behind this, Jordan and Natalie.
Yeah, for me, it's imperative. I've been, like you, international shows, and what runs beautifully is when you have people who've been in the game, fighters that have fought and have been around it. And Jordan and Natalie fought extensively, but they're just lovely people as well. They're so easy to work with. They know what the fans want as well, and there's going to be fireworks. All the matchups we've seen today, all the interviewees, they want to get in there, they want to perform.
Fighter turned promoter, what's it like?
I'm still a fighter. This is just a side hustle. I'm still doing it. I'm doing all of it. Yeah, I just got a little bit more extra time in my hands, so I was like,
fighter and promoter.
That's the one. Yeah.
Fighter and promoter.
Yeah. Well, basically, I obviously, as you just said, then I've been the way I say it. When I started fighting, I was basically, I call it the Wild West. I started fighting when I was 13. I used to lie about my age. I would turn up at a fight event, and I didn't even know what rules I was fighting. I would just look at the gloves, and if I could close my grip, I'm like, all right, there's some grappling involved. If it was a big one, I'm like, okay, we're striking. If they threw a knee, I'm like, cool, I'll do them as well. And so I've seen all the eras, but what I haven't really seen is much evolution in the promotional side of it. We're still kind of, we're not moving with the times a little bit. A lot of shows are. A lot of shows are doing amazing things. One of your favourites, Fame, obviously they're doing tremendous things, And not enough smaller shows are looking at kind of these bigger promotions and trying to emulate what they're doing. So why aren't we?
Well, it's groundbreaking to come here as well. The Nemesis Coachworks, there's Lambos, there's rare Cosworths, there's rare BMWs that I didn't even know how much they were worth. Apparently they're worth more than the Aventador. And people are coming here and they're taking pictures with the cars. The setup's beautiful. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, well, the plan for that is we want people to look at our product or what we're doing. We wanted to look at the show. So anything else that we can get those eyes. Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Anything else we can do to get people looking and finding things that, like, I love fighting. That's all I'm interested in. I'll be honest, I don't really care about anything else. Most other people, if you look at the demographics of who is involved in, like, who's in our audience, actually, you need to look at who's in the audience. What else they're interested in? They're techies. They like phones. They like fast cars. So let's incorporate that a little bit.
I was going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to butt into you earlier, but I was going to say, like, what's been the biggest challenge in all of this that you've described?
Reliability from anyone. We are really trying to kind of the different areas of any event, like you would in any business. We're trying to put together the best team that we can. We'll go through 10 different people. It sounds a bit cutthroat. It's not. We're not just like, goodbye. We'll go through 10 different people before we find someone that kind of suits a particular role. And it's like, I might be the best accountant in the world, but if I'm going to run a business, then I've got to find the second best accountant in the world to do my accountancy. I haven't got time to do that. My job is to find people to suit certain roles. And that comes down to the fighters as well. Everyone wants to be a fighter. That's the promoter side. From the fighter side, the age of the fighter is kind of dead a little bit. It's disappointing. I think as a fighter, if you go, I got King Kong or Godzilla, the answer is who's first. It's not, oh, well, have you got any footage? Let me study it. I need 6 weeks. If you're a fighter, you jump off the bench and you fight. That's bad. That's why you have managers and trainers to say no. I never had anyone kind of pulling me by the shirt saying no, so I was just I would fight everybody. That's because I'm a fighter. And now people want the Instagram pic. They want the Facebook profile. They want to tell everyone they're a fighter. But what they forget is fighting's scary. You're gonna hear that click of the cage, and you're locked in there with another man that wants to hurt you, or another woman that wants to hurt you. And people forget that part. And so then we get closer and closer to the fight, and suddenly injuries happen. Someone's always got, like, their dog's sick, or suddenly it's always a nan or a granddad is ill. That one pops up a lot. Maybe the girlfriend's giving them trouble, and then suddenly they start dropping out of fights, and it's a nightmare. So reliability across the board is probably the number one issue.
Here's the thing, though. That is a factor, right? Life does happen. And social media is also a factor, too, right? Like, we're not in an era where we can completely disengage from this stuff. But at the core, the journey of why you make the walk into the gym every night and why you go through the things that you do and why you then eventually go and test yourself and compete, that mustn't be forgotten. Now, I'm going to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you first. Supreme Championships, what's in the future? Where do you see this going?
I want to see Jordan fight again, but
yeah, me too.
Hey, I was doing all right last time.
I know, a freak injury.
Yeah.
I know. He didn't lose for the
Yeah.
record. But I mean, for me, it's just levels up every time. When I walked in earlier with my hat and my backpack, come all the way from Eastbourne, and I see the cars, and I'm like, oh, I want to touch them, shiny things. And we forget, like, the main thing is coming later. Then we see the guys come up, they're animated, they're facing off. Oh, it just gives you goosebumps.
And how about from your end, any inside track on what the game plan is here?
In what respect? With regards
for promoting, man.
As in, like, the whole journey?
For Supreme
Well,
Championships.
basically,
What's happened over the next quarter?
All right, I'll give you some inside information.
Tell us.
We have got provisionally 10 events that are kind of penciled in. I say penciled in because you would think that if you want to book an event, you phone up a venue, even an email maybe, and you say, have you got this particular date available? If not, have you got any dates around it? And they go yes or no. If they say yes, do you allow this type of event? If they say yes, you go, cool. So here's our layout. How does that affect your capacity, given fire eggs and everything? And obviously, you plop a big cage in the middle, tables or seats. Suddenly, the capacity drops significantly, and you've got to do the figures to see, is this going to work or not? So you put all that in there, and then they go yes or no. Cool. No. I trying to get a venue to just agree to those tiny little, not just acknowledge those questions, seems to be a really hard task. But once we've got that out of the way, so we've got our dates penciled in, just some of them aren't confirmed. Now we need them all confirmed because we need our plans. So what our plans are is we've got Natalie is going to be heading up the kind of Bournemouth, Southampton area. We're speaking to people in London, we're speaking to people in Bristol, and so they will be our matchmakers in those areas. So our model is working. We're always looking to change our model. We'll put our money where our mouth is. We never really see money from this because we're always chucking it back in. Every time we do a show, it gets a little bit bigger. We're trying something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, on to the next thing. So the model for the most part is working, so we're going to carry the model around, and we're just going to get different promoters in those areas because they know the local gyms and know the local fighters. We'll say, here's your salary, your wage, here's your budget, try and stay within that. And so that way, within each area, we could do 3 or 4, 5 shows a year, depending on the catchment area. That way we're not going to overmilk that cow. So now if you've got a fighter who is a ticket seller, we keep them in the hometown. We can build their career. If you've got someone might be absolutely amazing, but maybe they just haven't got any friends. They don't sell tickets. Why should they be cannon fodder? Well, now they're the away fighter to fight those ticket sellers in those other cities. So now we can then contract fighters and we can guarantee them. We've got 10 shows. We can say we can guarantee you X amount of fights a year. We can guarantee you a certain level of pay. So if a fighter has a guarantee, they don't really have to worry about these injuries that crop up because they know, well, we can move the fight here, and here. They know what dates we got. Year number 2, we're going to carry that model and just start going up north. So we're kind of spreading east and west at the moment. Year number 2, we're going up.
It's really cool to actually hear you talk and be honest about the fact that you have to get a gate. You have to bring people in. You have to be able to go out and you have to go and be a promotion at the end of the day. But like you said, with a little bit of a twist and some thought process, I guess, about how it will actually play out, you can make that actually work in the interest of the fighters and the growth of the promotion as a whole, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. If they go hand in hand. If you don't have fighters, you don't have a fight promotion. If you can't have one without the others. With the other, and the fighters want the biggest, best platform to fight on, but they've got to jump for a few little hoops. And being a promoter, I have to look at it from a business perspective. I'm like, how can I make this grow and expand as fast as I can? But then I'm a fighter as well, and I'm still fighting. And I've got a plan. I'm going to fight until I'm 48. So I've got an exact plan. How old am I?
You're on camera, bro.
How old am
This
I?
is being recorded right here.
I know.
Natalie's going to watch this.
Oh, wait. I dislocated this, and I'm like, when can I get back in? So, 35. I keep saying 36, and people are like, no, you're 35. So I've got, 13 more years. So they say the average fight career lasts about sort of 6 years. So I've got 2.5 careers left of fights in me. So I used to think I was going to be like a John Jones. Now I'm going to be a Glover Teixeira, I think. I think I'm just a late bloomer. I think I started late. So, I say 48 because 50, you're just too old, aren't you? 49, you're only stopping because you're 50 next year. So 48's on my own terms. But yeah, being a fighter and a promoter, you just see both sides of it, really. So I think I can look at it from a business perspective, but there's no business without the fighter. So what do they want? If we can guarantee it, because I want to fight everybody all the time. I don't dislike anyone, but...
Not me, though, right?
Ah, man, I'd punch you in the face. There's no malice there, but I'd do it. You know, if I'm driving along and I see 2 guys fighting, I'm going to pull my car over, I'm going to watch... and then I'm going to get my car and drive off when they're finished. You know?
It doesn't matter who he is or where he's from.
I don't know if I can slip because I
anywhere.
don't know how long this cable is, so don't go throwing shots in case I ruin your shots. But
Shots
yeah, so I see it from both
fired.
perspectives, and I think that's a huge advantage, really, because I'm forever going, well, what do the fighters want? What do I want? And I wanted all this. I was fighting in like dingy clubs that are just like this was before the smoking ban came in. If you were past the 4th fight, you'd hope the fight hits the deck because you'd have to get below that smog cloud. It was a different era.
I remember seeing you fight at the Liquid and Envy nightclub.
Yeah,
in
I've been there a few
Maidstone.
times. Yeah.
I mean, it was another era.
I've warmed up in corridors. I've gone outside in an alley. I say warmed up. We just hit a few pads. We're like, screw this. Let's just go in and fight. I remember hearing one time Robbie Lawler used to never warm up. He just would just jump in and fight. And I was like, yeah, that's right. I was like, you never see a lion warm up before he takes down an antelope. So me too. I'm a lion. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be all right. And quite often I do, because sometimes I'll promote and I fight on my own show. And they're like, Jordan, you're up. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, all right, let's switch it on. Not the best. And I don't, you know that thing like, do as I say, not as I do. I tell all my fighters, I'm like, don't do what I do. I'm an idiot. Like, I want to fight everyone, but they want to fight everyone, but they've got me going, no. So, yeah, it's I've gone off on a massive tangent. I can't remember what your question was.
It's all good. I'm going to take this one home. Listen. We're going to wrap this up. Tomorrow night, Supreme Championship 17, the O2 in Bournemouth. Get the pay-per-view. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube are the main socials to follow. What are your expectations?
Expectations are everyone that has bought a ticket, that's in attendance, I think they're going to have an amazing night. I think we've really beat that stigma that used to be there of those knuckle-dragging cavemen. It's not that anymore. It's a classy sport now, and I think we're doing everything to make it that. Everyone that comes to our event is like, wow, this is not what we expected, but in a good way. One of our events, we had two old ladies. They're like old, not like they were so like you would look at them and say, look at that old lady, that old. We're talking 80, 90, and their front row. I don't know who they were cheering for, but they were killing. I'm like, wow, we have hit a new market here.
Levels
so that age group has done this. So everyone there, they're going to have a great time. The fighters, I think they're going to experience another level of production and another level of being looked after. Like, we want them to leave, win, lose or draw, and say, I took something from that. Like, I want to fight for them again. Like, they treated me well. Not just a number, like, cheers, see you later. We want them to be like, thank you, can I come back? And I'll be like, absolutely. So, basically, I want everyone to leave happy, and I think everybody will.
Dean, before I close the show, brother, your expectations.
Oh, man. Expectation would be crazy fights in a beautiful coliseum like the old days. We see guys duke it out on a show that's ran by excellent minds, fighters that know how to do it.
And looking to push it into the 21st century, right?
This is what it's going on. I mean, when have you ever been to an exotic car garage for a weigh-in?
Listen, all I need is
Never.
like boa constrictors, you know.
We need to do that next time.
Can you imagine snakes? There were snakes on a plane. Why can't there be snakes in a car dealership for an MMA weigh-in? Look, that's next time. Listen.
We can do it.
For Chris Hoekstra, my broadcast partner, as always, Team Midhat, and Jordan Miller, fighter and promoter. We're going to close the weigh-in show here on YouTube. To all of you watching, make sure you get the pay-per-view. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you haven't got a ticket, there's probably a couple left for the O2 at Bournemouth. Supreme Championship 17. We got big plans this year and into the future. A very good evening to you. And from Nemesis Coachworks, we'll see you next time.
Feel love. 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 Feel love.